All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's session is a clean and jerk session. Nothing crazy, nothing out of the norm. We're just building to a heavy single. We're trying to feel out some heavier weights. I'm going to walk you guys through a warm-up. I'm going to walk you through the actual physical lifts itself, and then, of course, the in-between commentary. I guess today's episode is going to be more focused on adjusting your schedule for when life has different events, challenges, things that make you have to get out of your normal routine. For example, today I went and watched and helped assist and volunteer with my friend's marathon in Baltimore, and I'm here in the gym now. It is 8:17 p.m., October 13th, I believe. No, 14th. Yesterday was 13th. October 14th, and I'm just kind of going to go through the mindset of how I've changed, altered my routine and schedule, and how I'm able to be, in pretty good condition right now for my body to be able to perform at this time. Typically, when I train on a Saturday, it's between 10 a.m. to about 2 to 2:30 p.m. Right now, it is 8:18, and I will probably be here until probably 10:30. I've been here for about 20 minutes now, almost 30 probably, honestly. Just getting my stuff laid out. As you can see, I have the weights ready to rock and roll, stuff written up on the board to warm up. This is my second time through what I'm going through. I'm going to bring you guys over to the whiteboard right now so you guys can see my mindset, what's happening before I even think about touching any weights or a barbell. Okay, so real quickly, let's just look at my warm-up. These are about 5, 6 exercises that I'm going to do. I'll probably add in a couple more just depending on what my body really needs. So for my calves, as you can saw when we started the video, I was setting my calf on the kettlebell where the handle is and kind of just working through some tight spots. I've been doing a lot of rucking and running and jumping, so the calves need a little extra oomph to kind of get them where they need to be. The foam roller wasn't cutting it. A kettlebell handle kind of really dives in and digs into the muscle tissue, and it gives me what I'm looking for there. For my back, specifically where my shoulders are and a little bit into my mid-back, I'm going to be using a series of a lacrosse ball and a double lacrosse ball that's kind of tied in the middle. The lacrosse ball will be against a wall. The other one, where it's like the two balls put together, the peanut, I will be laying on the floor and going up my middle of my column of my spine. So that'll help loosen up the muscles there. For my lats and triceps, we're looking at just a simple band that's going to be tied to a lower end rung on one of the ladders, and I will just be kind of letting that band pull my positioning here and get my elbow as high as I can. Again, opening up the lats and the tricep there. Then for my QLs, my lower back muscles, it's like your quadratus laborum QLs. I'm going to go into the GHD machine and just allowing everything to stretch one way, turn over, stretch the other. And then finally, to get my body temperature up, I'm getting pretty warm right now, so I may not even need this. But in the event that I was feeling cold, I'm going to hop on the air runner for 1 minute on, 3 minutes off, do something else, come back on, 1 minute on, 3 minutes off, until, again, we're breaking a sweat. I don't like to touch a barbell cold. I like to be nice and warm and functional. I feel like it lubricates the joints. Everything's feeling good before I actually start touching the weights. So I may not need this, but I am going to go through at least these 4 things here and show you guys and how I'm performing them, what my thoughts and feelings are as I go through them. Welcome to this corner of the gym. So, band tied, very simply. We're going around the wrist. We're letting that have some traction on the wrist as well to open things up there. Let that elbow come up real high. Let it pull forward. And as we get more comfortable, I'm going to step towards you guys a little bit more, even assisting and pulling that elbow more overhead. And every deep breath in, I'm going to try to pull my chest forward. Exhale, let that body really relax there. We'll probably hold I think that was about 10 to 15, maybe even 20 seconds. We'll switch again, get that traction in that wrist, kind of work your way forward, let that shoulder relax. Big breath in, exhale, and that arm is going to pull back. Even again, a little assist there, and we're going to switch. So I'll go through that on each side 3 to 4 times each before moving on to the next exercise. All right, so here we have the glute ham developer. Typically, when you're laying on one of these, and this is also probably one of the better exercises to do, is to warm up my glutes and my hamstrings, as it's in the name, glute ham developer, and I'm squeezing here, firing everything up, doing some isometric holds, really engaging my glutes and hamstrings, making sure that everything's firing. But truthfully, what I'm going to be using this for today is going to be the QL stretch. So your QL is on the lower lateral side of your back. So I'm here, feet are locked in, and I'm letting my arm rest here to brace my hip and just letting my body sink and pull gravity. Again, this is where I want to be feeling the stretch. I'm going to breathe through, big breath in, big exhale, and let everything kind of sink and open up. Once I hold there for about 10 to 15 seconds, maybe even 20 or 30, depending on how I'm feeling, I will switch to the other side. lock in again and again. Let everything in my hips stay stationary and anchored here, and pulling my body straight down. So this side is feeling a lot more tender and tight. So I will be spending a few more seconds here. I may even come up, contract, and come right back down into this stretch here. And so for a warm-up, all body weight. But if I was planning to do this as an accessory, adding more things in, I may add, a 5 pound, a 10 pound, not worked up to a 25 pound plate yet, but a 5 or 10, even a 2.5, just to add a little bit more resistance there can be beneficial for that side or part of your body. So this is the lacrosse ball kind of double peanut that I was talking about. It's like 2 lacrosse balls kind of molded into one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this on the lower part of the middle of my back. So my column of my spine is here. The 2 balls are on the outside, going to be running up and down that area of my body. So starting with my mid-back, big breath through, or big breath in, big breath out. And just try to really sink into it. And then we're going to just piece by piece kind of segment myself and work my way up my back. And we'll probably go through this once or twice, get a little bit of flexion in there, raise a leg or two, and just kind of feel where the tightness is in my back. Specifically, too, we've been doing a lot of pulling this week, so my upper back is a little bit tighter, so I may start higher and work where the traps are, and kind of just operate through that area a little bit longer than I usually would. And then I would do the same process and repeat this, but get more laterally speaking with a lacrosse ball against the wall. All right, let's lift. So I'm wearing sweatpants. I feel pretty warm, and after going through everything that you just saw 2 times through, I'm feeling pretty good. I mean, it's much later in the day. It's one of the benefits of working out later in the evening is your body is a little bit more awake because I wasn't sitting at my desk all day at work. Today's Saturday. I didn't have to, do a lot more mobilization than I typically would. Typically on a Saturday, too, when I'm in here, it's 10 o'clock. I will go through, in most weekends, some type of outdoor cardio, whether it's a ruck, a run, or even some type of yoga. But today, again, so I had my friend's marathon that I was at, moving all around Baltimore for 4 or 5 miles, I think we walked. Went back home, recovered, ate a bunch, and here I am. So one of the things with your schedule being thrown off is in order to perform and train like you want, you have to be able to recover and fuel your body. For me, I'm very lucky with the opportunities that I have in my life that I can do those things, have the food, the resources. Before training, I wanted to train at a very high level, and originally I was going to come in here right after the marathon. That would have not worked out well. I realized that my calories are really down for what they typically are. I needed more carbohydrates, I needed more protein, I needed more fats, I needed a little bit of all the macronutrients. And so I made the judgment call to sleep. So I took a 2-hour nap, and then I ate a bunch. I had 2 meals in me, and just kept on just snacking on a lot of carbs. I had 2 fruit sticks, I had 2 bananas, had some liquid IV. I'm going to take a scoop of First Form's Ultraformance, which is their carbohydrate electrolyte balance mixture, and then I'll be primed and prepped to go. I don't feel super terrible right now. Definitely need to get the body a little bit looser, as my hamstrings and my glutes and my quads are feeling it from the lunges yesterday. So we'll have to take a little extra time there just to kind of a little TLC work. But that's how I'm trying to modify my training, by making sure my eating matches with when the intensity of my training will be required. So fueling my body for performance, not too concerned with the calories, more concerned of what kind of calories and when I'm getting them for what I need to be using them for. So I'm going to grab some carbs right now, probably have another fruit stick, and then we're going to start slinging some weight. I was just thinking about this as I was going through. I'm checking. So one of the things or items I like to do is make sure that literally every part of my body feels integrated into the lift. So for example, I just worked on my hands, and I realized that, man, my grip is fried for whatever reason. It might have been the rope climbs yesterday. I might have been holding onto the dumbbells too tightly, snatching, whatever. But my hands just don't feel engaged. They feel tight. My wrist flexion feels terrible. It's when I pick up this barbell, that does not feel amazing. So I'm going to work through that a little bit longer. I'm going to feel out my hamstrings, see how my squat positioning feels as my groin warmed up, how does my press feel, what parts of my shoulders necessarily aren't turned on like they should be. So that's kind of the protocol that I go through. Even like my feet, right? I'm rolling out on a lacrosse ball. I'm making sure my toes are flexing. Everything can grip the ground properly, but I don't like to put my shoes on until all of that is, again, up and firing. Oh yeah, there we go. Much better. So I just went through and spent about 5 minutes opening up my wrists, my fingers, making sure they feel much better. Did a little shoulder work, a little bit of my ankles, my hips. We're ready to touch some weight. Pretty standard walkthrough, first weight on the bar. My approach to the clean and jerk is a little bit different than the snatch. So in this case, we went into a power clean, push press. Then the next rep was a squat clean, push jerk, and then we did a squat clean again into a split jerk. So going through those three, I will hit that one more time, and then we'll start adding on a little bit more weight. No energy wasted on the warm-up today. Yeah, we had to pop the top. It was way too hot. All right, let's hit this. We're just gonna go singles all the way up. Yeah, so we're gonna hit this one once again. I mean, I did take a 90-pound jump from the last lift at 135 to 225. But it felt a little jagged. This one, hopefully, the nervous system recalibrates and feels a little stronger on the pull. Yep. Much better. So I don't know what would have been better. Clearly, I took that again. That was probably the best 225. The pull felt like it was there. The extension, catch under the bar was quick. The jerk was much snappier. So in the whole, programming scheme of things, should I have gone 135, 185, 205, or 225 before going straight from 135 to 225? I don't know. Not a doctor, not a coach. Just playing around with some percentages, feeling things out. Took 3 reps to kind of get acclimated. Now I feel comfortable moving on to the next weight. I'm going to try to not use a belt, use any sleeves. But again, these are some things that you have to kind of play around with training. This is why I don't always follow an exact set schedule. I don't have a clock to tell me when I'm going. I'm kind of just running with things, feeling things out, collecting my thoughts. There's no music. It's just me, the barbell, and just being very, very intentional and aware with my body for this session. So just things to keep in mind. I hope I'm throwing out little tidbits and nuggets that you guys can take, incorporate into your training, and have much better sessions moving forward. So if there's anything you want me to talk about, that you have questions about or interest, again, please throw them in the comments, shoot me a DM, email me, whatever, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks, guys. Thanks. Yep. There we go. So that was an interesting lift. Another 25-pound jump. On the turnover, I didn't have the fullest grip on the bar, so my pinky actually shot out. And for whatever reason, I thought I could double bounce out of the hold to put it back into place. But we stood it up, did a little re-rack there, but my hand was slightly out of position. So this jerk was not the most stable. I'm gonna hit this one more time to feel good about it. And then we'll make a much smaller jump following that. There we go. So much better. Oh my gosh! Shoot! Bro, pull through your chest. What are you doing? What are you doing? Ugh. Ah! Come on. Ha! Oh, that's disappointing. This is literally like just a mental block. I don't know if it's because, it's not, like there's no excuse. Like, I gotta hit that. There's zero excuse. We're gonna go one more crack and then call it. Come on. Knew it. Easy peasy. Well, I knew I could hit that. Just in between my ears. Just gotta be able to punch it through. Really slow on that turnover. Legs, not as fresh as they probably could be. Arms, not as fresh, but still no excuse. Like, that's only, what, 290? 290 pounds. Felt good. Not great. 275 moved decently without a belt at least. Again, atmosphere, environment, food, all that stuff is no excuse. You still got to go execute. So I'm happy to get that. I'm going to move on to a GHD EchoBike EMOM, some skill work, and then like a death by burpee. So thank you guys for watching this episode. As always, peace, much love. Catch you in the next one.